Welcome again to our video. We had shown the setup and the setup adjustments. We're in a rather difficult position, as you can see, and now it's our turn, our impulse. These are the cards in our hand. The 57th corpse, the 3rd corpse, the 40th corpse, and corpse rouse. Well, let's see what we can do. Let's see the situation on map. I would personally prefer to have the card for these guys over there. It's the 48th corpse. I would love to, get them a little bit behind in a more defensible position. As you can see, this line is the Soviet artillery barrage line. It has some other factions too, but for the first 2 turns the Soviets get free artillery combat tactic in every combat that will happen. So it's a +1 cheat and more opportunity for them to hit us. So, but yeah, we don't have this card, and it's quite critical to get out of this as soon as possible, based on my previous experience with the game. So this green card, I mean the card for the 57th, it's just this guy over here, an infantry unit all alone. There is the engineers event though, and we could place 3 improved positions to improve our defense in any units that are currently on the map, but not of course in units in towns, cities. So it's not going to happen though, because those forward positions, in my experience, will very easily be surrounded and more or less destroyed by the Soviets. So let's see what else we can do. And we have to manage our hand very carefully, just 4 cards per impulse, and not many cards for our turn. Let's see what else we can do. Let's try something different from the previous time. Okay, let's start with with the blue guys over there, or else 40th or XL Panzer Corps. So they appear to be okay. It's a stack of 3 units with enough. You can stack up to 3 units, not exceeding 6 steps. Okay, so 3 units, 6 steps are our maximum. Also, they're outside artillery barrage and next to a town where they can retreat quite easily, so they're not in immediate danger and they're quite strong. I think they can okay, let's see. Well, it's either 3rd corps or corpse rouse, so let's see how's the situation. Okay, we could also use some of the cards for combat tactics, but we have so few cards, for at least for the first few turns, that you have to manage to maneuver. I think it's better to maneuver than try to spend them in the battle. Okay, let's start with third corps and see how's over the situation over there. Okay, it's not in the best of shape, but what would we do? There is this unit inside this town, Izium. It's a VP hex, of course, and it will be targeted by the Soviets, no question about that, and he will be attacked, that's for sure. But the town will absorb one hit, and I would love to actually strengthen this unit, maybe get a unit inside there, but my other third corps unit cannot cross. This unit of Popov has, as every unit in the game, has a zone of control in the hex adjacent to them. Those hexes adjacent to the around each unit is the zone of control of its unit. So what you can do is you can get adjacent, enter a zone of control of a unit, but if you have to get out of the zone of control, you can't move directly from zone of control to zone of control. So this unit can't go there. It has to go backwards, get out of the zone of control, and then re-enter if it has enough movement points. But still, there is no way we can get it into Izium by. I mean, there are not enough movement points for this route there to get into Izium. Of course, it goes both ways. Again, the Soviets can't go can go forward and completely surround this unit. So this unit over there is dispersed, but it's not in immediate danger right now, because there is a screen of other units in front of it, so it's not going to be attacked immediately. It's not possible for the Soviets to attack them right now. So, and it's outside the artillery barrage. Now, the other three units, it needs a little bit of thought. I would like to consolidate my lines, I mean, pull them out of the barrage, and we know that Soviets going to move towards the southwest front of objective. Maybe we could set up a defense line over there. I mean, we will have to see about it, but overall they are not in very bad shape. There is also these guys over there, the 40th Corps, that could strengthen them. Okay, Corps House is it's got some issues over there. It's actually split in two groups. Well, they're all infantry units. There are three units not very strong, and another two over there. These are two strength, one. Okay, this has two steps, but they're weak units, to be honest. These are a little bit stronger, 3 combat strength, 2 steps, but they're quite alone and exposed, to be honest. Okay, this guy over there is surrounded. Okay, because it's surrounded by the zones of control of these Soviet units. So we can't move him out of there. He can't. So yeah, that one can move. These units over there can move, and I was thinking of preserving them a little bit maybe I would get these guys over there more defensible. It's goods, it's more defensible ground, they're not out in the clear, and they will also, if they go there, they will also control their zones on this road, and so the Soviets can move very quickly, and maybe try and protect this city over there. Okay, maybe we can we'll try and get these guys out of the barrage, so they are not eliminated, and maybe block some of the roads, so the Soviets don't have an overly easy way of advance. But the surrounded unit can't do anything else, but we could get him an IP improved position, because we can, if the unit doesn't move, doesn't attack, it can receive an improved position, a little bit improving his chances of survival. Okay, let's try this and let's hope it will not be a great mistake. So this is the card, Corps Rouse. So the first is deploy, order is deploy all corps, no reserves right now. Second, activate all units in Corps Rouse. That's what we'll be doing. From third turn onwards, we can assign replacement units to Corps Rouse units that have lost steps during battle. Also, there are two other commands. Activate any one units. You can activate any one unit anywhere on the map. And there's the engineers, and this is a combat tactic that it's not right now. It's when we are in the battle and we play the card for combat tactic. So we'll use the second command and activate all units of Corps Rouse. It doesn't matter the order we're going to do. We're the player, we can activate in any order we can do. It's not a primary card, so it goes to the supplemental discards over there. Yeah. Okay, let's get back to our units. Let me focus, zoom a little bit better. I think that's okay. Okay. This is quite easy, not in the zone of control of any enemy units, so we'll try and okay, it's for movement, and we'll see what we can do with it. There is the terrain effects chart, so the terrain effects chart, okay, yeah, that's better, so we can see how much it costs to enter each hex. This is infantry and cavalry, and goods is 2 points, broken clear it's 1 point, and have in mind that to exit the zone of control you have to pay an extra point. This unit, of course, okay, this could go, it could go over there with its 4 movement points. It could go, yeah, a bit further away, but I would prefer not to leave this unit out in the clear. It's easier to get surrounded, and in the battle it doesn't confer any advantage, whereas let me fix a little bit there. Yeah, that's better. So I think I will move it over there. This is good. This square is a village, so it's 1 plus 2, it's 3 movement points, and I turned it a little bit so I remember it has moved. So these units, I will get these units over here too, so it's 2 plus 1, No, I can't get an. I would need 5 to enter the goods. Don't want to leave it in the clear. So it's over there. So it's 2. 1 for clear, 1 for exiting the zone of control, plus 2 for entering the goods. It's 4. That's okay. And yeah, I'll do the same with this one. So goods more defensible outside the Soviet artillery barrage. Sorry for that. And this zone of control meets the zone of the control of the other unit. So we kind of hold the line a little bit. They cannot in one move go through and surround us. And we also still control the map edge and the roads over there. It's kind of a good movement. Let's go to the other corporals units and see what goes there. It's a little bit more difficult there, and yeah, we're just buying for time right now, to be honest. So we could get there, but we're still inside barrage. It's clear. Outside, not to. Well, you can't go there. Oh, we can go straight into the goods for 3 movement points. I don't know, but it seems more defensible, and we preserve the line. It's inside barrage. No, you know what? I think I'll try the goods over there, and maybe we can, kind of help the other units over there. So again, we still hold the line. They cannot go through with our zones of control. No, this unit cannot move. It's completely surrounded. So I won't attack, of course. So I will give them an improved position. The improved positions absorb 1 hit, so that's how it looks. It will absorb 1 hit and maybe help it survive, another impulse, another activation. We're playing for time here. So that's the situation at the end of the German impulse, of our impulse. So, well, it was short. We don't have so many units. We're on the defense, and okay, let's turn them right. What's interesting in the solo series of enemy action is that the player can't have consecutive activations. We cannot activate again Corpus Rouse in our next impulse. So of course the Soviets, the solo system, doesn't have these requirements. It can and it will activate its units 2 times in a row. So there are some it's there saying that activated. I usually place them on the calendar, somewhere that I can actually remember that I have activated, and I will have to remember to remove it at the end of our next impulse. And I also try to keep track of the cards in the command display, so I don't make this mistake. But okay, let's go to the Soviet impulse. Typically it's the second Soviet impulse, but these are the cards. This is the command display, let's say, for the Soviets. So these cards, as you remember, they were discarded during the setup adjustments, and these cards are what we're gonna use now. So we get 2 cards, 1 and another one. Okay, these cards are both supplementary, they're not primary. In this case, the instructions say that one will go to the command card and the other will be the auxiliary card. And the way we resolve it, when both cards are of course, if there was one primary card, the primary card would go to command the other auxiliary, but when they're both the same, primary or supplemental cards, the primary will be, the command card will be the one with the higher command value. So this one with the C4 will be our command card, and the C1 will be our auxiliary card for this Soviet impulse. And let's see what we do with this card. It's a card that will activate the whole of the southwestern front, and you can see it has 1 to 3 rounds. We're in the first round, so it says it calls for to activate all the units of mobile group Popov and the units stacked with Popov army units, because you can have a stack of units from different armies, as the Soviets call their units. So whatever is stacked with mobile group Popov units will be activated. But before starting any activations, what we have to do is check our objective. Let's see what this means. Okay. I have forgotten to mention that we execute the order for the solo for our adversary. We activate in order. I mean, it's not like the player cards where we can execute any command we like. We have to take them in order. I mean, if you can execute the first command, then you do that, no matter what if some other command would be better in your opinion, whatever you have to, but there is the restriction that this command must produce an effect. Of course, it can't be ineffective. Okay, let's go to the objective. These objectives are the points towards where Soviet units will go, and the first objective point is over there. And of course, as the game progresses, these objectives will move. So let's see if it is let's see if it will move. Okay, let's consult the rules. So the check is against any unit in the southwestern front, not just the active ones. So these are with the orange, reddish-orange background. More reddish background, yes. Mobile group Popov goes with the yellow, but we check against every unit. I mean, also the units with the green or the magenta over there. Okay, first we check if there's a Soviet unit in the hex. Of course there isn't. The second, if there is a German unit in the hex and the Soviet unit adjacent to that unit. Of course it's not. And the third one, if it's in an empty hex, like this is our situation, but there is a proximate Soviet unit to this hex, and proximate hex in this game means that a unit can in one movement reach and enter that hex. So let's see how movement and zones of control work. Is there the possibility of a Soviet unit enter the hex? So let's start with this, which is closer to the objective. So one would say, yeah, of course it's 1, 2, 3, it's up there, but this is a zone, this is of control of these German units. You can't go through. Of course, it is already in the zone of control of German units, so you can't go from zone of control to zone of control. The only movement it could go it could go backwards over there to the woods, would cost 2, and of course it would have nowhere to go, so it can't go. Of course, this unit over there cannot go through the units there. The other units there, they're more mobile, but the movement points are not near enough. So I have placed my unit so there is not a gap actually, so no unit, I know that no unit can go through. There's no way, the way I have placed the unit, this unit cannot move towards the objective. So let's see, these units again, they cannot go through, at least not in one movement, through our zone of controls. So I have way of preserve the line, if you remember, from the enemy action Ardennes. So while it seems it's very close, it seems proximate, but in game terms it isn't proximate. So and there's let's say that's the strategy, the way of placing units, so you can control your opponent's advance and restrict your opponent's options of going whenever it goes. That's like a situation. So bottom line, the objective doesn't move, doesn't go anywhere. It will remain in this hex, at least for this activation. Of course, if you spot a mistake, feel free to tell me about it. Okay, let's see what units. These are the units that we have to activate. These units over there, the first guards army, cannot be activated. So okay, they're not stacked, they're adjusted, but they're not stacked with pop-off units. This, on the contrary, this unit, this first guards unit inside Slavyansk, will be activated because it is stacked with a unit from pop-off group, a mobile group pop-off. Okay. It says, you can see that plus okay, yeah, you can see the plus stacked units. So let's see how we move. Movement. Let's try the movement methods. There are in this solo mode, there are movement modes, movement methods, as the game calls them, for the units. I think it's the most complex part of this series of games, but we'll take it slowly and try to make it. Yeah, we have to be patient and go slow, and of course we will learn from each other's mistake. If you have any questions and spot mistakes and stuff, and Board Game Geek is an invaluable tool for for all us solo gamers in particular, and the designers quite active answering questions, and experienced players and playtesters too. So let's zoom in a little bit to our friends over there. Okay, now let's see the movements. They're in the rules. They are yeah. Okay, they're over here. I don't think it's productive to keep the rule book. There are some special rules for pop-off. Okay, in the first 4 turns, all Soviet units call the group of movement methods called A. Movement methods group A will be used throughout the first 4 turns. Okay, let me try and fix the focus a little bit. Just because I'm sorry, it's just totally amateurish equipment. Try to do my best. Okay, I think that's good. So, movement method 1, and we have to take the first movement method is take a VP hex, like this one, or like Isium, or that hex over there, and we have to examine each unit in turn in ascending order. In descending. Okay, it's descending. Descending means we look at the selector number and we go to from the highest selector to the lowest. So let's try and get a better look at the selectors over there. And one more important thing is that we check every unit for a movement, for one movement, and then we move to the next movement method. So let's start with number 22. Can it enter an empty VP hex, or adjust or map edge hex? So let's see, can it move there? Can it move to Kramatorsk, this unit? But as we have already said beforehand, it cannot go because it has the movement points, but it will enter the zone of control of these guys, these blue guys over there. So when you enter a zone of control, you have to stop moving, so it cannot. Okay, let's check number 9 for the next number unit. This is a Soviet. Let me remind you, the Slavyansk is a Soviet town right now. It's not it calls for German, so it could not number 22 go. It couldn't. There was not a point. So we'll check every unit against movement method A, and then we'll move to movement method 2. Sorry for saying the same things again. Try to explain what we're doing here. Okay, sometimes it's a common mistake. I've seen it many times in the previous game, but okay. So the next would be number 9. Okay, number 9, yeah, it can't reach Isium, no way. I've set it up that way. And okay, let's no unit can take a VP hex right now. There's no point in going one. It's because they have to stop in our zones of control. So that goes first method. Let's see the second movement method. So, but we now examine ascending order, and it calls for German adjacent to German VP hex and closer to the front objective. That's how the front objectives come into play. So for example, it could be Isium, and right now it's the only meaningful option. I mean, move next to this German unit in Isium, and closer, of course, to the front objective. Okay, let's see if we can get any. So we're looking for adjacent, and closer to the front objective. And let's go ascending order. And if you have more than one choice, there are some preferences. So there are more preferred and less preferred hexes, but we'll cover these as they occur. Okay, ascending order. Let's see, the lowest selector is this is number 1 over there. 1 Popov, a quite strong unit. 6 combat strength, 6 movement, armor, mechanized, 3 steps. So let's see, and the obvious movement would be next to Isium and closer to objective. So there is these 4, no, these hexes are not reachable, so there are these 3 hexes. Let's see if we can reach it. Okay, close. So that's 4, and that's 4, and that's, yeah, all these hex come to play, and it's also in the zone of control of this unit. It is surrounded, but it still has a zone of control, so you have to account for this movement point, and there's still a little bit of a restriction. We'll come back to it later. But so this unit, correct, let's see if it can go. So it's from here to there. It cannot, this can't happen because it's zone of control. From zone of control you can't do that, you have to get out, so it has to go. No, it's still zone of control. It could go there, so it's 3 plus 1, it's 4. 3 for the goods, 1 for the, and then go back 6. No, I don't think so. Let's see if it can go there. It would be, no, it would require 7 movement points. Yeah, it's 1 for exiting zone of control, 3 for the first goods, 3, it's 7. It doesn't have 7, it's only got 6. So no, it can't move there. It could go backwards, of course, but you have to go closer to the objective with this movement method. So it can't move. And there's also another reason that, let's go to the other restriction now and talk a little bit about it. I think it's a good point. There are some general restrictions concerning Soviet movement, and if we could, if by some way could move it there, that would mean that this unit would not longer be surrounded. This German unit in the proper position wouldn't be surrounded, because every adjacent hex to this unit should be enemy controlled. So this is zone of control, this is zone of control of these units, this is zone of control of these Soviet units, but this one is not zone of control of the Soviet unit, so the unit is not surrounded. So if this unit it can't move there, then this unit would no longer be surrounded, and the rules specifically forbid that kind of movement. So it will remain there for the time being, at least, so it can move there. Only there it could move. It could only move there and keep it surrounded, of course, because it would exert a zone of control over there in 1403. Yeah, you can't go from zone of control to zone of control. No other method, no other way of movement can help it, and yeah, I think it will remain there. So let's go to the next unit. Number ascending order, so selector number 2. Yeah, it's that first guards unit over there in Slavyansk. And let me see if it can move. It is already in VP hex, but it can move to a more preferred VP hex. Let's see. Of course, it can't go to Kramatorsk next to, but and it would be further from the objective, of course. Let's see. No, it wouldn't be closer. No, it's not closer. Also, you have to take into account some other restrictions, but it can't go over there. Let's see if it could go to Izium. So it's 3, 2 for the goods, and then it could cross the river, but it's 3 plus 1, 4. I think it's a lot. It's closer. It's clearly closer to the front objective. Is next to. It goes from there. Goods infantry 3. Yeah, it's 2 plus 1 for exiting. Let me double check on this. It's this goods there is not zone of control or anything, so it exits zone of control and then enters a zone of control closer to the objective next to VP hex. I think it's allowed, this movement. Second a little bit just to be sure. I hate having to go back and fix it. And let me see. Sorry for the delay. Double checking here. Okay, I'm counting again. 2 plus 1 3 plus 1 4. Yeah, it's legible. It's legible. Let me check again the restrictions. I can't seem to find the restriction leaving general restriction, that is. The restriction is certain movement methods, but in the general restrictions I can't find saying that you can't leave a Soviet VP hex, at least. Well, there is a restriction. You can't leave it if it's you can't leave it empty and proximate to German unit. We're not leaving it empty. There is quite hefty unit over there. So yeah, it's I think it's legal move. It's 3 plus 1. I mean, it's infantry goods 2 plus 1 for exiting plus 1 into broken, and yeah, over there. Let's place it underneath and turn it to show it has moved. So yeah, it's over there. That was number 2. Let's see next movement. Number 4. The same goes for number 4. Can't move next to. No, you have now. There are 5 steps already. The limit is 6 for a stack, so it couldn't go. So number 4. Yes, this movement can go. It's not in zone of control. It's closer to the front objective, so it will move there. There just need 3 movement points. It goes adjacent to VP hex, stacked with there, and I already start feeling bad for these guys over in Izium. Okay, so this goes there, and let's go to that's over number 5. Okay, let's see, can number 5 go again next to Izium? The only viable option. Infantry would go there, zone of control, but it's too backwards over there, so it would require 3 man plus no, it's good to there, and besides there are 5 steps plus 3 steps, 8 steps. It can't be done. Sorry. It could go if there were enough movement points. It could go over there, and that's why the order in which we examine both the movement methods and the units with the selectors is important. So it can go. Number 6 could also go to Izium. It can't, because the eligible hexes are fully stacked, almost fully stacked. But there's also another restriction, because if that leaves, then the Soviet town would be proximate. It could enter the town, especially these 2 units could Germany. So it can't move, at least with this movement method, or if something in the situation changes. So we have 6 we have checked. Let's go to 9 next. 9. Okay, let's see. For the same reasons, it can't reach Izium, which is the only hex which is meaningful to examine. No stacking limits. It can't. Again, let me remind you, it couldn't go to Slavyansk because it's not a German VP hex anymore. It's a Soviet VP hex. It can't go around, of course. So, and last but not least, number 22. It's interesting because it could go next to a German unit, but the movement calls next to VP hex, and it can't go through the zone of control, and these units are not activated, so we don't examine them. So that's movement method 2.